I think we had lost the interwebs and we're back. I think we're back. It looks like we're back. Tell me if we're back because I think we're back. Are we back? But yeah, I think we're back. It says I've got a green light. I've got the chat. I think we're back. I'm going to take a chance that we're back. So, anyway, as I was saying before we got cut off, and I don't know at what point, but yes, a bandmate quit um, based on the band name. And I just kept going because I felt that, you know, it was the right thing to do. And happily, I didn't change my mind. And that's sort of the way that I feel about the NFT thing. I have this weird feeling that it's something I was supposed to wait for. So maybe that's why, we didn't have two Billboard hits. Maybe that's why we didn't stay on a major. Maybe all those things led me to this very moment or to the very moments that are coming because I sense it. I can sense it that it's different. But anyway, so and I've been working a lot. Like I've been painting a lot. So Lalo Lalo has a good question. Um I think well, sorry. No, we're back. He said, did you have alternate names? There was one name I really liked, and this is a funny story. So my friend Tito, right? I would run names by him. So the very first name that I ever took as the project name was Plastic Surgery. That was one of them. And I think I have one tape to prove it. Um, and then after that, it was the search for the right name because plastic surgery sounded too punkish. So in the end, I didn't like it. And I remember coming home one night and calling him up, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I've got the perfect name. I got to tell you this name." And I was so happy. I don't know where I'd seen it before, but obviously I'd seen this particular name somewhere, and it stayed in my memory. So this goes to show you how non-versed I was about electronic music. That I called my friend up and I told him I want to name the band Tangerine Dream. That's the name. And he just laughed at me on the phone and he's like, "You realize that's already a band?" And I'm like, "No, you're kidding me, right?" And he's like, "That's a band. And they have like 7 albums out." And he's like, "And I can't even believe you've never heard of them before." And I'm like, "No, I never heard of them before. I bet you they're really good too." And so then I got schooled on Tangerine Dream. And then I realized I have got to find a name that makes me feel the way they must have felt to make 7 albums worth under that moniker. And so that's what I mean. When I found Anything Box, I was like, I know that's mine. And that's it, you just know. So, yes. And there was a time actually that we considered changing the name um, around 2000 or so, that we were literally like thinking about changing the name. And that was crazy, man. Like I don't know what was possessing me to do that, but anyway, we are playing tracks from 1988 directly from the pipeline on VHS. And I was telling you earlier that Danya and I were thinking about an EP, but it was her idea that we lump these particular types of songs together so that we could play a lot more in Jamaica and Hawaii because of the tone or the tonality of these songs. So now you're going to understand why. So this song is called If We Don't Change. Oh God. Oh no. Did I do it again? I swear to God, if I play the wrong song again, I'm ending this stream. Ah, Robert says, I'm glad you didn't change the name. Yeah, I know. Me too. I am happy. But that happened twice in my life. So I'm going to tell you the second time that happened when we come back. But I'll set it up. Let's set up the VHS tape. And we still got the green. Completely, totally different. See, I'm saying it's different. So funny. I think one of the goths booed. It's so funny. But there was a time when I liked to blend. I still do that today. I still blend different types of styles into the electronics. So there was, and so Ricky Olana Siam, he said on YouTube, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that your music has had may have reached out and touched many kids' lives back in boarding school in a small island of Malaysia." That's so awesome, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for telling me that. That can explain some videos that I've seen that where there's kids playing like these odd instruments and they're covering A-box songs, and I used to wonder where that was, and I, I think I know now. That's really cool. Hopefully, I will be able to and do some touring in Malaysia. I would love it. I would really love that. So, hi Malaysia. Hi. If any of you are watching this, it's you guys that made my life great, not the other way around. It's amazing to me the things that I've been able to experience doing A-box. So, I am really grateful for that. So, thank you. Um so yeah, if we don't change, there's always hell, which speaks a lot about today right now. But I've got Greg from Vic20 on YouTube, and he did. Greg, don't tell him what song it is because I didn't tell him what song it is. But yeah, so Vic20 is doing the music, and I'm going to be Vega. You're so funny. Synthofer. Oh God, I can't even say it. But it's funny. If you look at the chat, you'll understand. Synthofarian. Yes, I guess I am a synthofarian. But I can't even talk now. Yeah, but don't tell him. But I told him earlier how I had gotten a track from a band and that we were going to be working together to do a cover for that Numbers tribute. But I didn't tell him what song. I did say New Order though, but I didn't tell him the song. So now you know. It's a Vic20 anything box thing. So because we're talking about names and things like that, or at least that's what we were talking about. I don't know if it's even Vic says Vic20, although it's Greg, but I'm gonna just say Vic20 because it just sounds cooler. But Vic20 on YouTube says it's gonna be epic. It is because the mix that you did of that song breaks the barriers. It was amazing. And it's going to be awesome. As long as I sing it good, it's going to be awesome. If I don't sing it good, it's going to suck. So I need to do a really good recording. So I get to set up the studio booth and everything this weekend. It's going to be fun. Start practicing. But which, will make me happy. But so there was a name that I wanted really badly for a while. And it was the name NPOP, which I really, really wanted. And unfortunately, NPOP, and it's not that it's a bad thing, but NPOP was actually the website of a band called Andorra, which happened to be A-box fans on top of everything else. So when I found out that their site was npop.com, I remember saying, if for whatever reason that name doesn't work out, please keep me in mind because I love that name. And they had broken up and the band literally broke up and the name was gifted to me. And I can't explain to you how happy I was because it's those weird moments of like, I call it synchronicity, where everything just lines up because I knew that was the right name for something, but I didn't know what. I didn't know if that was going to be for a label. I didn't know if that was going to be for a band. I didn't know what that was, but I knew that that name was just as important to me as Anything Box. And I knew that I had to keep it. So at first it was like, oh, it's easy. It's going to be a label. Then it was like, oh, I know. It'll be our brand, how we, all our merch is going to be NPOP. And then something weird happened. Hold on. Let's put on the overhead and I'll show you. I'm in another room. I don't know if I have a black one. I don't think I have a black marker. Oh, snap. I don't have a I don't have a black marker, so I can't show you. But you can see a blank piece of paper. I don't know. Maybe. Let's turn on the lights. Ooh, now you can see. So the reason why NPOP was important was because I knew that it was a sort of identity. It was this weird identity crisis that I was having. And it started, gosh, I want to say around 1998. And it lasted until about 2014. This weird identity crisis where I was like, what am I going to use it for? What am I going to use it for? And then I realized this entity was me. And then I realized, oh, I am NPOP. It's me. And so I did this one day last year during the pandemic. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's an E and a P. And that became a thing. And now when you see something that I've drawn like this, and you look in the corner, that is now how I sign my work. So I became NPOP in 2020. And I realized that my what I took for an identity crisis was actually an identity forging. And so I realized, like, that's me. That's who I am. So it's synonymous with ABOX. It will be all kinds of weirdness. But anyway, I wanted to show you some weirdness of stuff I was doing. So I did this a few days ago, and that was one of the. I think this is like the second one I've signed now with the 2020 version of my SIG, but I don't know if you can see it, but it's hard to keep it steady. So that's oil paint. So I've been doing more stuff with oil paint, although I'm stuck in the house. The work is certainly darker. So here's another one. So I'm going back to some old techniques that I had. So it's like revisiting the darker, gothier side. And that led to, the experiments that I was doing with photographs that wound up becoming what Dead Stars will be, kind of like. This is like a study that I had done. So soon enough, I'll have more art to show you. So next week, you guys get to see the cover, and you'll understand that I did 12 versions of the cover. So it's going to be cool. I'm excited because for the first time in a long time, I kind of know where I'm going. Like I have all these weird directions and they're working. Like despite the fact that there was no shows, despite the fact that I don't know where my next buck is coming from, if you know what I mean. Like despite all these weird little things that are going on in my head, I feel okay. I feel like I'm going to get out of it all right. So yeah. So it's going to be fun, man. Wendy says 12. I don't know what that means. You mean you saw 12? But so yeah, that's what happens when you find the right name. When you find the right name, everything coalesces. 12-inch. Oh, yes. I understand what you're asking me now, Wendy. My head. Yes, there's 12 versions of the cover. Obviously, one that we chose for the cover. But there are literally 11 other versions. Well, there's more than 11. I should let the cat out of the bag. There's probably about 18 or 19. We'll talk about that next week when I show them some of them, or maybe I'll show them. But it took a lot of work, like a lot. It started off with about 200 photographs, and they're really weird and they're out there, and so it's a little out there. So we were talking about the cover that we were doing or gonna do of a New Order song. So next on the VHS is a cover of a Joy Division song. I'm sure you know which one it is, so I'm not even gonna introduce it. You just have to see what it is. And here goes the tape. At least I hope. Uh-oh. I thought it ate the tape. Okay. Do another one. Are you guys having fun or what? Really? You wouldn't lie to me now. Oh, okay. You're right. Is that a little better? This is called Industrial Wasteland. Technology and future is the picture we'd like to paint. The truth will someday show when there's no rain or falling snow. God.
Guitar player tune up here, and we'll be on the next song, okay?
That's funny, man. It's hilarious. I think that was us literally messing around. Oh my God. So funny. Ooh, Synth Gamer on Twitch says, I love all this. It reminding me of clubbing at Clockwork Orange. Where was that? Where was Clockwork Orange? Because anything named Clockwork Orange has the stamp of cool for me. I would definitely be a club called Clockwork Orange. But since I've never heard of it, it must be, where was this? Synth Gamer. Ooh, in Hollywood. Are you? Oh, wow. So that must have been when? In late 80s? Because I moved to California in late 89. So I don't think it was there then, was it? Um, hmm. And I think you meant the Roxy, but I'm not sure. But if it was the Roxy, yes, I have been at the Roxy. Um, but anyway, yeah, Industrial Wasteland. The wow, man, how could I have missed the Clockwork Orange Club? Ah, see, so I missed out on a few things. So funny. I think, are we at the end of this thing? No, there's one more track. There's two more tracks, technically. Good. Because it played this out of order. I have really no idea what's next. A funny thing, Wendy, I remember seeing Clockwork Orange playing consistently in the background at the Lizard Lounge whenever we played there. And I always loved that, which is another reason why, by the way, I love the Lizard Lounge. So, which is funny because I have to say this because I have my friends here from Jersey watching, and we grew up with the Pipeline, and they don't necessarily know that when I started to tour, I became enamored of certain places and certain cities that had clubs that were in that vein, which is why like it boggles my brain. Like if you think about it, so I'll explain. In El Paso, for example, you had Club 101, because I can hear all the El Paso fans just going crazy right now, going, oh, yeah, of course you got to mention. So Club 101 and the Pipeline are eerily similar. 101 is much larger, but the vibe was almost eerily familiar, which is probably why I became friends with everyone there and why we would go back. Because any place that reminded us of the Pipeline, the Loop, Aldo's, and the places that we used to go to, obviously they would, do the little twist in your heart, right? So in El Paso, it was Club 101. In Houston, of course, it was Numbers and the Lizard Lounge. And it's like everywhere we would go, and of course, Alcatraz and Chicago. You got to talk about Club Alcatraz in Chicago. So the underground, yeah, like Emilio just said, I love the underground worldwide family. Yeah, that underground, man. It was this weird thing to see it connected from state to state. Hey, we have Jim Kelgard in the show. That's awesome. You made it, Jim. You made it. Much love to you, brother. So yeah, you had these pockets of like these different clubs, but they were eerily familiar. And I think that's what made those connections easier on us with fans, is that we would play these places and go, oh, Club 101 is El Paso's version of the Pipeline, and then Alcatraz, like all these different places. It was just amazing, man. So do I miss that kind of stuff? Of course. Of course I do. Believe me, there's a side of me that's like, I should open a club, but I know that that's not going to happen. But I will tell you that I do miss those days. I do. And I'll tell you a secret. Before the pandemic hit, there was a club here in Long Beach that I was starting to go to, that I really liked. And it didn't really have a working name, but it was called Release the Bats, and we would go like every couple of weeks, and it was really, really awesome. Like really, really, dark, gloomy, and they would play all the cool goth songs that I loved, and it was just awesome, man. So nostalgia hitting you and me. But anyway, I'll play the next song. I have no idea what's next because at this point, I think the tape is mislabeled, but it's either going to be Love Will Tear Us Apart as a cover. We're playing this VHS, by the way. Or a song that Mike actually wrote the words for. It's one of the two. But here goes. Let's turn on the VHS and let's hit that nice play button and see what happens.
You're off key, Mike. Try a little higher, man.
So I guess we have feedback.
And you guys thought we didn't have guitars. Okay, this is our last song. It's called My Mind Went Blank. 1, 2, 3, 4!
Haha, it's so awesome. That's funny. Wow. So that was that was that was the punk influence right there. Sticking its head in. And so what's really funny if you think about it, right? Most, and I'm being honest here, most Anything Box fans that got to know us from the Peace album and on, it took a while for them to see or hear that version of us that everyone saw in 88, because in 88 we were doing weird things like that, and we didn't return to that kind of stuff until Electrodelica. So now maybe somebody will make the connection and go, oh, that's how you get to Electrodelica. That's how you get to a song like 45. So, the synth punk thing was there, Ah, so funny. Anyway, so I think this is going to be the last track that's on that tape. I think it is. I think this is there's one more track on here, and I'm going to just play it, and then I'll come back and say goodnight after that. And then we'll tackle another tape next week. That's I think we'll just now that from now on, I think we're just going to pick random tapes that we won't know what's on them. I think that's the fun thing to do right now. Although next week, it's all about dead stars. Dead stars. Ha, impossible burgers, Brent says. I agree. Although I have my food waiting for me when we're done. I'm going to literally eat dinner after the stream, which is funny. Anyway, I'll play this last one and see. Let's see what's on this. I think I know what's on this, but we'll see. And then I'll come back. See, look, we're leaving. So maybe that is the last song.
One more, we just forgot to do. Just gotta get one wire in. Hold on one second. This song we were gonna do, but then we said, no, we're not gonna do it. And now we're gonna do it. The reason why we didn't want to do it is because everybody's doing it. Don't do it! Just say no! I think that's the one, but first, can I just introduce everybody first? Ah, come on! Thank you. That's Danya. Our keyboard. That's Rob, but I'm not gonna kiss him. And that's Mike, our guitar player. Okay, folks. After this, you can forget about us forever. This is the last time we'll do this song, only because everyone else is doing it. And other than that, there's no reason. Hey, what happened here? God damn, it's fucking dark. Do it up, baby. Woo!
It's so funny. I think it ends there. I think it does. Yeah, there's nothing else. Ah, we'll rewind that now. Although this VCR is funny because it has like loop points, which I never had a VCR that has loop points in it, and I don't happen to have the Oh boy, yeah, it's not going to rewind. So I have to figure out how to rewind tapes when I finish playing them on this machine. It's so weird. Yeah. So ends that tape. And it's funny. Oh man. So anyway, we played half of this show, the other half that had some of the songs that people were asking for, like Kiss of Love and Living in Oblivion. Those are in last week's show because they were early on in the set of this particular Vegas. You can just mail that to me. Oh, speaking of mailing. So remember how I was telling you when this Quarren stream started that this one tonight's that today was the day of synchronicity. So to recap, the remix track and cover that we're working on, that I get to do vocals on, that arrived today, which was fantastic. Today I figured out all the things I need to do to make the drop and to connect the drop to the 12-inch so that basically anyone who gets the 12-inch gets that one NFT for free. Yes, I just said that. You're going to get one NFT for free that's going to come with the 12-inch. So I figured out how to make that drop happen today. And the third thing that was really cool was that I got word from the studio that's doing the transfers that all the ADATs arrived at their studios safely today. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be an expensive venture, but I'm really happy about that because there was 10 ADAT tapes, and I know that Electrodelica's there, Universe, Hope, the first Diary album is on there. So it's going to be a lot of vocals and stuff that we can do remixes with. So it's going to be fun, man. So I'm excited about that. So and now Steve showed up. Oh man. So Steve, you made it. Steve made it right at the end. Oh man. Yes, my friend. Unfortunately, we are coming close to the end. But remember when we started, I was playing something from that Mexicali show to show how far we've come. So this is so you know how precise A-Box is. There's nothing on this tape other than written in gold marker. It says Mexicali footage, good. And that's all it says. So this is going to be one that we're going to start off with next week. But we were playing, I think it was part of Answer Me. Here, let's rewind it and we'll play this and then that'll take us out. So let's see. Hold on. No, not this one. This one. So we're rewinding. See, this is what you do when you have VHS. So we'll play this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is called Answer Me.
This song is called Answer Me. I want everybody to dance. Go crazy. Hello, Mexico, Mexicali. Thank you. How you doing, Mexico?
I have got some questions. You don't have to lie. Every truth you give me, I'll give you one more try. You can tell me now. You can speak for me. You can change the words and give me what I see.
Everybody, let's go!
Answer me, can't you see that the world is coming down? Answer me, can't you see that the world is coming Lies are but a dream, words of indisgrace. Lies can hold you down forever. So answer me, why won't you see me? Set me free. Why won't you see me? Answer me, can't you see that the world is coming down? Answer me, can't you see that the world is coming down? Answer me, can't you see that the world is coming down? Answer me, can't you see that the world is coming down?
Daddy, ¿quieres bailar? ¿Quieres bailar, Daddy? Yeah? Okay, Gary, dance!
Thank you so much.
Ah, so funny. I think we will continue with that one. We'll continue with that one next week. I think that's a vote of yes. If not, say, and I'll figure out some other tape we can play. But we'll play the rest of this one next week. If the machine is decides that it's we'll play this one. Oh, so I think it's been a year. I think it's been a year since we've been doing this, which is so weird to say because it feels like I just started doing this. I don't know. It's so weird to think about that it's been a year. But it's a year. Oh my God. A year. What can I say? Things are going to get better or they won't. But in any way, shape that it happens, we will be here. Right? We will be here. So I will see you next week. And thank you. Thank you for keeping me company during this horrendous past year that we've had. And it's been a year, and it's so weird saying that, but it's been a year, and thank you, all of you. I will see you guys next week. We will reveal who's on the 12-inch, who's on digital, and the cover of the Dead Stars 12-inch, and maybe a few of the other alternate covers. We will show them next week. It's a promise. Ready or not, we're showing it to you next week. All right? So, yes, I will. So, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope that it wasn't so boring and that the sound wasn't so terrible. If you want me to trade off between the VHS tapes and you want me to play other stuff, put it in the comments down there so that I know for next week, so that we don't we're not just boring you with VHS tapes. But I think it's funny that we found these, and who knows? Like we have no idea what we might uncover in some of these, because I'm telling you, I did not watch these before. So I have no idea what's in here. So anyway, if you have requests for next week, put them in there in the comments on the video, and I will see you guys next week. Good night.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?